Hello and welcome to My Xbox and Me, episode, 369? 8? I'm one of your hosts, MC Fixer, alongside the one and only, Too Fresh Crash. Crash, a good day.
Hello.
A good day, sir.
What was that?
That was a different, how you doing, Crash?
Got it. That was very...
I bid you a good day, sir.
I was going to say that was very British of you.
Hello, young Jap. How are you today? I hope you are well. Please come into my establishment.
Is that your posh British accent?
Is that my posh? No, I usually go with like a, pip, tilly ho. My name's MC Fixer. How are you today? Yeah.
Okay, got it.
I can't do a
good
posh
to see
man.
that you're like... It's good to see that your posh accents are about as good as your Texan accent.
My Texan accent's amazing. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeehaw, cowboy!
You know what? I feel like I was in Texas.
Never heard anyone say yeehaw the whole time I was there. No. It broke my heart. But they do say y'all. Howdy, y'all. Hello, y'all. How you doing, y'all?
That's just you for them.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like with us, we say in it instead of isn't it?
Is that right?
You know, like it's not like a yo, but I'm just saying like it's just like a little, you know.
Yeah, but y'all over there doesn't mean you all.
No, it means you. Well, it can mean you all as well, though.
I think that's more of a East Coast thing. Or non-Texan thing.
I don't understand coast.
I could be wrong about that. Somebody from Texas, don't
right. My Xbox and Me podcast said he said don't write it. I don't care. If you didn't know, this is My Xbox and Me, our weekly Xbox podcast, right here on youtube.com/My Xbox and Me and podcast services. You might be asking yourself, Fixer, the YouTube video's not gone up yet. It's late. I haven't had any internet. So, we might not make it through this podcast. Honestly, my internet is in the bin right now. In the bin. Every time I stream, I get like an hour stream going, internet dies.
Is it like an area-wide thing for you guys
Must
right
be.
now?
It must be.
Interesting. I wonder if it has anything to do with the heat. Or with the heat you guys had. Because we've been having a bit of heat run here, and my internet's been jumping up and down. I don't know if it has anything to do with that or it's just regular internet shenanigans. Could go either way.
It could be either one. But I don't usually have this. It's never this bad, usually. Like, I'm talking about, like, it drops out for an hour, and then it's back. And then it drops out for an hour, and then it's back. And that's why it's been such a pain to get the video out. The audio I got out straight away. The video, I've tried to upload 4 times. But because it keeps getting cut out, I have to resume it. But every time I've tried to resume it, doesn't work. So that's why the video is late this week. I do apologize. And if you're watching this week's video, don't worry about last week's video. It's not even a big deal. Don't even stress. You been alright? What's new? Everything good? I feel like we spoke literally the other day. It's the crazy thing. Like, you know?
I think we did. I don't even remember. So I can't deny that. Yeah, it was just before my performance. Just before my performance. Saturday. When we recorded the podcast, Yeah,
and now we're recording on a Wednesday today. Matt P's dead, by the way. He jumped out of a flying plane without a parachute and decided he didn't want to live anymore, so he gone. Rest in peace.
Somebody's gonna believe you.
Rest in peace. Imagine that.
You're gonna be looking in the newspaper like Matt P. They're gonna be looking in the newspaper to find Matt P. jumps out of a window. Man jumps out of a window.
Man jumps out of window. We're not sure why.
You said flying plane. I said window.
I mean, yeah. No, you're right. Crash, I want to let you into a little secret.
Yeah.
Just between me and you.
Okay.
I've made the biggest error of all time. I didn't open the show notes. I opened the write-up. So now, I have to maneuver onto the website to get... I've done the write-up again, Crash. I've clicked write-up again. That's not going to help me, Crash.
You need me to send you a link?
Shout out Patreon producers this week, Aaron Guard and FNH Paul. No topic of the show this week. I've got to be honest with you. We're just covering the news that we missed from last week, and we're going to do some questions. So I tell you what. We'll make the first question this week our topic of the show from Killer Berry, who says, Being in Australia, new games are $100 to $120 day one here. So, the research to choose and buy a game is essential. This got me thinking to my childhood. Cool game cases were a fuel to my little monkey brain into my purchase. Some of my favourite being Doom 3, Star Wars Battlefront 2, and Riddle. Any game cases stand out for you lads? P.S. Congratulations on your new producer position, Matt. Looking good in those big boy pants. Sorry, Matt's dead, so you're gonna have to let him know it from the grave that he can't talk. I'm very sorry. Crash, any game case that stood out to you as a kid that you can remember?
God of War 2. I remember looking at that case and be like, that's a good case.
Okay.
Other than that, I think Gears of War. I can't remember if it was the first or the second one. I think was a very similar case for me.
Gears of War was a good case. That was a good case. That was very strong. Like, it looks fiery. You got Marcus in the front, Dom to the right. Strong. That's a strong case. Yeah, I mean, I think Crash Bandicoot was a big one for me back in the day. Like, just seeing that mascot smack bang in the middle. Like, this guy smiling. He's a Bandicoot. He looks happy. He's got his big feet.
I have a question for you.
Okay. When
you first played Crash Bandicoot, did you know Bandicoots were three things?
I didn't know what, but I still don't know what a Bandicoot is, Crash. What are you talking about?
Good.
Do I know?
Same boat.
Think I know what a Bandicoot is? Not a clue. Another one. Tomb Raider. Original Tomb Raider. PS1.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. Those polygons, they were looking fire back then. Let me tell you.
You never got that many polygons back then.
I'd never seen that many polygons.
It was different.
It hit different. Tomb Raider, like, probably my first relationship with a woman.
For sure. I see where you're coming from.
Should I tell you a story?
Yeah, tell me a story.
I'm going to tell you a story about my granddad. Nah. Most people know my granddad was the person that got me into gaming. Like, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have got into gaming. Rest in peace. He's not longer with us. I remember my granddad had this piece of paper with cheat codes on it. And he was adamant that one of these cheat codes would get Tomb Raider naked. Adamant. I'm telling you, this man was adamant that one of these cheat codes that he had. Where did he get his cheat codes from, Crash?
The guy at the shop gave them to him.
There was no internet then. Like, they within there weren't about like that. Like,
the store he went to, the guy was like, "Yo, $5 extra. I'll give you a cheat code. You can get Lara Croft naked."
And he bought it. Bought it. And let me tell you, I've got so many stories about my granddad and trying to get characters naked. It's like, bro, what was with you, man? Like, shout out my granddad, but like, come on, bro. Now I'm thinking back, I'm like,
maybe for him with you, it was just a comedy bit. I could see old people thinking that that's funny when they play games. They like tell their grandchildren or their nieces and nephews. No, but that's like a shitty dad joke or something like that.
I wish it was. But it wasn't, though. My man really wanted to see those polygons, bro. He wanted to see those polygons.
Those two polygons would have looked different.
I do remember there being like a magazine though that apparently had like a cheat code in it, like for the character model to be naked. Unless I made that up. Maybe that's like one of those kids' towels that you like make up in your head. It's not actually true.
Yeah, like if you go to the specific bus, you'll find a Mew. Got you.
Wait, what?
There used to be a whole bunch of rumors for like the original Pokemon for how you could get Mew.
There was?
Yeah, he was hiding under a certain vehicle. You could do certain stuff to get him.
I do remember that now you're saying
that. Yeah.
Huh.
Pokemon was different back in the day.
Built different. While we're on the conversation of cases though, Rayman, once again, big one. And then as I got older, the Bouncer, as we all know, the Bouncer # remake the Bouncer. Was it a good game? No. Does it deserve a remake? No. Should they remake it anyway?
Yes.
Yes, they should. I'm trying to think of other ones that like. So I've got a couple that like I was so scared of that I couldn't have in my room when I went to bed. Resident Evil 3.
Yeah.
Nemesis. Nemesis wasn't allowed in the bedroom.
Terrified you.
Wasn't allowed in the bedroom. Nemesis was not allowed in. He was to wait outside because he was scary.
Would you say that that's actually that's good game case then, right?
Well, fantastic.
Yeah, okay,
well,
okay.
I mean, for Resident Evil 3 come out in 1999. I was born in 92. I'll let you do the math, all right? Like, that game scared the bejeebus out of me. But,
okay.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. I'm trying to think of bad ones, though. Do you remember, there used to be a game, I can't remember what it was called. There was one that was always in the bargain bin at Costco. Always. No. And I was just like, I can't remember what it was called, though, man. I really can't. It was like Zero or Sign or something like that. One of those like one-word games. And like, it was one like Too Human, that case. Terrible case.
No clue what you're talking about.
See, Chris, you don't know. Another good one.
No, I don't.
Abe's Odyssey, another great one.
I don't remember bad game cases. To be honest, like even with this question, I don't remember game cases in general off the top of my head. It's like I have to really dig in there to pick out some good ones.
Yeah, I mean, The Getaway. That was a good one.
No clue.
The Getaway, because that was like the British GTA, and I remember there being a rumor going around that you could go to your house. Like, it's London. You can go to your house. Like, literally, you can go to your estate, fam, and knock on the door and then shoot the person in the face, and it won't be you, fam. I remember that being like a whole thing back in the day.
That would happen with games based in New York. People would always like, yeah, you could go to your house, you could see your house, you could visit your neighborhood. It was always BS, especially back then when they didn't try to be accurate at all to what's really there. So you'd go to where your house should be, and there's just like a building that shouldn't be there or something.
You're like, yo, why is this?
Or it's a convenience store.
Yeah. Like, what the hell? That's not true. So, but isn't it wild that we've come that far that now we got like sound like Flight Sim, and you can actually go to your house.
Yeah,
you
it's
can dock
crazy.
yourself. You can just dock yourself, like no problem.
Dude, you could Google your street and you'll always have it with Google Maps. There will always be a picture of your street where you live.
Man, the internet's wild, bro.
Yeah.
Wild. Don't know if we answered your question, if I'm being totally honest with you, but it was a nice memory lane. You know, another character my granddad wanted to, get the polygons off? All the Final Fantasy characters. Weird, bro. Like, what the hell? Men as well. What?
Hey, your grandfather didn't judge. Shout out to him.
He didn't judge. It's true. Shout out to him. Next question we got here is, Dear Toothbrush Crash, Video P, Fixer, and the boss. Who's the boss?
Haley.
Oh my... Bruv, how is she get this much credit on this podcast? She does nothing. Just writing to express how much I've been enjoying the recent output of the My Xbox and Me team. On the stream side, the increase in frequency and variety has been great. Fix recently mentioned wanting more guests on the podcast. If you could all invite someone, who would it be and why? If I had to choose, I'd like to see a collaboration with John from the Gaming in the Wild podcast. Thanks again for all you do, Law, aka Original Cookie Man. Oh, that's a great question. The show's changed a lot from what it used to be compared to what it is now. Once upon a time, I thought like, are we talking from a numbers point of view or just like someone I'd like to have a chat with?
Do you have an answer for both?
Numbers, Phil Spencer.
Right, of course.
Like, just like having Phil Spencer would like legitimize us as an Xbox podcast. We've been around for nearly a decade, but that would be chef kiss, done, game over, you know?
Right.
And then from just a general conversation point of view, I don't know. I've done a lot of them. Of like my Tim Geddes, Greg Miller, Mike Chanel, AC Bongos. Who would I like? Someone who would just sit and talk gaming. Again, I'm a spoiled little brat because I've met most of my heroes now, to be honest with you. Not that I have many. And I would want someone like deep in do you know, probably someone you wouldn't expect, but like imagine like a Henry Cavill. Because my man knows games.
Yeah.
So like to have someone who is not from our world be in our world and know like is up to date on like every man's like, yo, I've got Game Pass. Yeah, I'm playing this on Game Pass right now. I just think that would be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, you'd probably end up with a World of Warcraft and Warhammer conversation with them.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
My man would be like, yo, but this new hammer I got for
But
my character. And I'd be like, yo, you're a fucking nerd, fam. Like, I'll beat you up, you know? Man, Superman, I'll beat you
roll
up.
around with hammers.
I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like there's a couple of non-gaming famous people like that, though, other than Henry Cavill.
Who?
I just can't think of any. Is the thing. Because
Oh.
I do know that there are a
Ice-T.
few that are. Ice-T plays games.
It game's hard, fam.
He was very into Gears of War. I vote Ice-T.
So, have you got anybody, like, even from in the industry, are you like, yo, get this person on?
Not really, to be honest. But I've never really been into podcasts in general. So it becomes a problem of like when I'm looking at people, I'm like, if I wanted to hear their opinions on games, I'd just go listen to their podcast. So I don't think there's anybody in the industry that I would be like, oh, it'd be really dope. Not say that I would be against people popping up on the podcast, but more so like anybody I'm like, yo, Fix, we got to get this person on the podcast at some point. It'd be a dope conversation to have with them from that sort of avenue.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, all the people that I watch now from a quote-unquote influencer standpoint for like YouTube and stuff like that, they're not that interested about gaming. Like, they just wouldn't fit on our show.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I do want Khalif Adams on, but then again, me and Khalif talking to DMs. So these are not like, these are just, I can see that happen. It's just down to me organizing it better. So it's not like a pie in the sky, never gonna happen conversation, you know?
Yeah. It's interesting you mentioned Khalif Adams, because thinking about it, there's a few people I follow on Twitter that I don't attach a voice to, and he is one of them.
Yeah.
Where it's like, not that like I don't acknowledge them, but I only acknowledge them for a portion of a thing on Twitter.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
I think
that's
a conversation with him, a conversation with Paris would also be good. Major Nelson. Like, there's so many people that like I could go through and list, but yeah, I don't know. I do as I do, which is just see as it comes, you know? As it comes is how I take life. It's kind of how I am. I've got a better question for you, Crush, though.
Okay.
Same person, Origin Cuckoo Man says. He just tagged us in a tweet here, which is, the question was from YouTube Gamer. It says, if you could add only one character to Multiverses, which would you choose?
So
this be a DC
WB character.
WB character.
So that's Cartoon Network. There's rumors of characters being outside of WB and being data mined and stuff like that. I don't know how accurate those are.
I've seen a lot of data mining going on with this. With this, I'm not gonna lie. I've not played the game still, but have they got a Cat Dog?
Cat Dog is Nickelodeon.
So what? Yeah, same thing, mate. Give me Cat Dog. DLC, Cat Dog.
Cool. You wanna know why Cat Dog will never be in this game?
Why?
Because they have the Super Nintendo game, not the Super Nintendo, the Nickelodeon game.
Have they got the Powerpuff
Nickelodeon
Girls?
Fighters? No.
They don't have the Powerpuff Girls.
No. Look, the Powerpuff Girls are a huge ad. Why add them day one, you know?
Bruh. What about what's the chick from Dexter's Laboratory? Not Dexter, his sister.
Dee Dee.
Dee Dee. What about her?
Don't have her either. No.
Come, bro, this game sounds trash. I'm not gonna lie.
There you go again, Fix. Judge a game you haven't played.
No, I said sounds. I said sounds trash. I didn't say was trash, yeah? I said sounds.
Got it. My bad.
Yeah, don't put words in my mouth. What about Now
who else?
I'm
Can I tell
getting back
you
in my
that is
brain
not
right
in
now.
it?
I'm getting. What about Earthworm Jim?
No. Earthworm. Isn't that a video game?
Yeah, but he's a character, fam.
Yeah, a character. I don't think WB owns the character.
I swear they do.
Maybe. I have absolutely no clue.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Robin? Is Robin in it?
No.
No, Robin?
No.
Tasmania?
They have Taz.
Oh, we got one. Okay.
He was OP when the game first launched.
What about
he got thrown in the bin.
What about Fred?
Fred is not in it, but
No Fred?
Shaggy and Velma are.
No, not that Fred, fam. Oh my god.
Which Fred?
Fred Flintstone, fam.
Oh, why would why would you assume I would go to Fred Flintstone?
What do you mean?
Why would I go up? You know what? It makes sense. You're from the age of the dinosaurs. That shows about the dinosaurs.
Oh my god, he just called me old. He called me old. He called me old. He called me old. Everyone, he called me old.
Makes sense.
He called me old.
He would be Fred to you.
Is Fred Flintstone in it?
No Flintstones at all.
Bro. Do they need me to consult on this game for them?
No, that's all characters they can add. This game's supposed to exist for a long time, Fix.
Who owns Rick and Morty? Is he in it?
They're the next characters getting added both of them.
WB on Rick and Morty? I didn't know that.
Oh, apparently. I think is it from Cartoon Network, Rick and Morty? I think it is a Cartoon Network show. I could be absolutely wrong about that.
Of course you're wrong about that. It's on Netflix. Wait.
It's on Hulu. It's on a whole lot of streaming platforms.
Hey, Crash. Notice I don't do a film podcast? There's a reason why. I don't understand how this works. You know, I turn up, talk smack about video games I've not played, and then I leave.
Mm-hmm.
Good time.
It is from Adult Swim and Cartoon Network.
So Adult Swim are owned by Cartoon Network?
Yeah. Well, Adult Swim's like their after hours programming. I think it starts like at 11 or something like that.
So is Harley Quinn in this game? She is, right?
Harley Quinn is in the game, yeah.
And
Superman, Wonder Woman, Tom and Jerry, Bugs Bunny. They have a good amount of heavy hitters in the game.
But not the ones I care about.
Taz.
What about Velma?
Velma's in it, yeah.
Oh, see, she's the best looking one as well. I had a big crush on Velma when I was a kid.
I feel like you've told me this before.
Yeah, you know, don't worry about me. Anyway, next question. Let's move on, Crash. I don't know what Canada's put here. All I've got is why. Why? Why what, Canada? Why what?
The Women's NBA made Xbox Stadium.
So, yeah, for people who missed this, New York have got, at the New York Library, they've collaborated with Xbox to unveil the WNBA first ever gaming-inspired basketball court for the August 2nd and August 3rd home game versus the Los Angeles Sparks at the Barclays Center. I don't know if you guys have seen this. If not, go Google it. It's hideous.
Yep.
It's hideous.
Yep. Like, shout out to the WNBA.
I mean, hey, don't do that. Hey, don't do that.
Do what?
Don't do that.
I said shout out to the WNBA.
Don't do that. I see what you're doing. Do you know it is ugly, right?
Oh, yeah, it's super ugly. If an Xbox sponsorship were to happen with a men's basketball team,
it wouldn't look this bad.
Like this.
No.
Yeah. That's more so what I meant, is like they got the short end of the stick out of this.
Yeah. It's like it's
literally like this is from a video game. It's like, here's the Xbox map. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. I love the Roblox advertisement as well.
Yeah. It's not pretty. It's not a good
It's not a good look.
No, not at all.
Not a good look.
So the answer to why? Money. Xbox money.
Yes. But am I impressed with it? Not in the slightest. Nope. Not in the slightest. No. Not happy. Moving on. Bro, we got so many questions this week. It's mad. This one's from... I say his name wrong every time, Crash. Every time.
You want to try it?
Dovan. Duva.
Where the... Dova.
Dover. Dova. Dover. I'm sorry. Talking about KOTOR development, pause, got me thinking about Star Wars games from the past. One I played and loved, which I'm sure y'all know, is Star Wars Republic Commando. I think it would be really neat for a Resident Evil 2/Dead Space style remake of it. Maybe BioWare or The Correlation, as their games usually involve squads, and your relationship with the squad. I don't believe the original was much on that, as it was a FPS action, but I think they could do it justice and evolve into that. But I wanted your opinions on that idea. We're like the two worst people to ask.
Yeah, this is a Matt P type
This is a Matt P question, so I might even save it again for Matt P. The Correlation are not making anything other than Gears of War, though. Like, would you actually think they're going to make something else?
Yep.
Really?
I think unless unless Gear 6 comes out and it is the biggest game Xbox has ever put out, I think they're going to work on something else next.
The biggest game Xbox has ever put
Yep.
out. No hyperbole there at all.
No, I don't mean a hyperbole. I mean very literally. It is as far as like the Series X, like the later generations are. Like the multiplayer has consistent players. It doesn't take a dip. There is none of that. Oh, it was a great campaign, and that's about it. I think as a whole package.
Gears Battle Royale.
That'd be too messy.
I
think it'd be dope. I think that would be too messy.
It'd be messy as hell. But
as a Gears of War fan,
could that not be the fun of it though?
Sure, but do you expect a game that's messy like that to last?
That's the problem. I think it lasts 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think that ultimately is because I think I would have fun in it
for 2 weeks.
And it would be a dope experience.
Yeah. Man, Gear 6 is coming soon, Crash.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
I'll be excited when I see something.
You want to play it with me?
I can't. Why do you ask me that every time?
Why can't you? You could.
You could have played other games. You know what, Fix, as busy as you've been, I'm going to be busy that weekend.
Oh, yeah. Cool. What about if I offered you early access to it?
Can't do it.
You mean you wouldn't betray Ben like that?
Can't do it. Yeah, no.
I respect that. That's a real friend. That's real. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn. That hurts my feelings.
You got Matt.
Oh.
You have Haley. You can play with Haley. You played the last one.
I always play through with Haley. We and Haley play every single one of them together. But last year she ruined it. Remember? Because she took too long and they got spoiled for me.
Was that her fault?
I mean, she took long and the game was broken.
But I don't remember if it was. Okay.
It wasn't her fault per se, but we have to blame someone.
Got it. Not the person who spoiled it for you. Didn't it get spoiled in Discord as well? Yeah.
In general.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't believe. Blah, 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 and I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, and it was the
the last bit.
Out of everything to get spoiled, I think there's other stuff in that you could have gotten spoiled and would have been like, oh, that sucks, but it's fine. That to get spoiled.
Yeah, yeah.
It happens.
It does happen. It's a shame. Origin Cookie Man coming in again with another question. He's got loads this week. It's crazy.
I just want to say these are like back-to-back weeks that we haven't got to this question.
Yeah, we're missing. Crash, do the call out. We need more questions. Tell them.
We do need more questions. So if you can, drop them in the Discord, drop them on YouTube, tweet at us, #MXAM. Origin Cookie Man has more questions on top of this pile.
Oh my god.
That just haven't gotten in.
Okay. I rate it. We'll do this last question, then we'll go through the news. With Netflix beginning to devote more resources to making mobile games with their subscription, will the publisher supporting experiences unique to mobile be the ones who see the most success / engagement? Netflix Gaming published a mobile port of BAFTA award-winning Before Your Eyes. Inputs via blinking using face front camera / webcam. Huh. I didn't know that. Interesting. I don't see it, if I'm honest.
No.
I don't see anyone being interested enough to care about the mobile. I never knew this existed, and am I not the demographic they're going for?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I think this is like a relatively newer thing because I've seen stuff like the past couple of weeks for it. But also, I don't think you're the demographic. I think it's for people who don't really play games but go on their watch Netflix on their mobile to randomly see the gaming section and be like, oh, I can play games on this. Not for somebody who's into gaming to then invest. More so a reason for someone not to leave Netflix as opposed to go into Netflix.
Yeah. Do you think the same with kids as well? Like, oh, look, we can play games on Netflix. Like, I really don't know why they're getting involved. I've got to be honest.
I do think kids are part of it because how many parents sit their kids in front of a tablet or something and they're like, here's Netflix, here's YouTube, do whatever. Yeah. Now there's a gaming section for the kid and the kid's like, I can go to this, and I'm pretty sure you can just play the stuff there if you have the subscription. I don't think you buy
I'm trying to do
things.
it now, but I don't see any. I don't see any section for gaming.
Is your Netflix updated?
Probably not.
I think that would be it. I just don't know if it's an opt-in service right now. I don't really know much about it in general. But as for the question, I don't think that'll be the case. I think as far as mobile game awards, maybe. But in general, if you look like at VR games don't get really hyped up when they're super a VR oriented game, with a few exceptions. Like the Half-Life game that was really good apparently. So I don't think going in for like what makes you mobile unique necessarily will get you the looks that you might want.
Yeah. I mean, the idea of blinking in a game does nothing for me.
Those are cool experiences, but I don't think they create good games necessarily. Not to say that it can't happen, and not to say that the developer can't do it.
They've got one more here, so we might as well do it because I've read it. All right, so it's same thing from Origin. From Origin Cookie Man? How can Elden Ring this year even remotely be considered a? Go on.
How can the Elden Ring year?
Sorry, thank you. Even be remotely considered to be a year without games when Game Pass is delivering so much. Tunic, Nobody Saves the World, Road 96, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge, Young Souls. Road 96 is a great game, but it's been out for so long for me that it's like been and gone. Shredder's Revenge was okay. Like, it was a solid game, but it's not. We stop it.
The only game on there that I think is like super noticeable, yeah. Young Souls was decent game. It's not on the level of Tunic or even an Elden Ring. Nobody Saves the World is a game.
It's a game.
I wasn't fond of it.
I don't even know what this is.
Which one?
Look. Nobody Saves the World. Let's have a look.
Yeah, it's the one where you start off as the little white dude.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it came out in the beginning of the year. Yeah. Where
I do remember.
There's like weird stuff with the combat that I wasn't a huge fan of. Like, yeah, I don't think any of those games are Tunic level or Elden Ring level, because I would say Tunic absolutely could be someone's game of the year over Elden Ring. I think somebody who plays both can prefer Tunic. I don't think that goes for any of the other games on that list.
I play both.
Like, I'd be hard.
Elden Ring. Elden Ring's definitely better than Tunic for me personally.
Yeah, the only game there I could see is Road 96 from what I've played, that being really like people being really into that narrative. But again, like Fix said, that for most people came out last year.
Yes.
If you're on Xbox, that came out this year, but for most people, it came out last year.
Yeah, Switch, PC. I don't know if it's on PlayStation actually.
I don't know.
I haven't got a clue.
I would have to. Yeah. Huh. I could look it up. I don't know that it's super relevant.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just disagree. Like, it's just, I think we're paving over the cracks a little bit with some of these games here, if I'm being honest with you. Like we're putting Shredder's Revenge up there like that. That's a bad year for me. If this is the game of the year list for you, Cookie Man, I think this has been a bad year in gaming.
Yeah. I will say I do think the back half of the year with like Callisto Protocol and things like that will up it quite a bit, and maybe we get to the point where it's like, oh, this actually was a good year for gaming, right?
Fresh. 2-point campus and now. Don't forget.
This was a fantastic year for gaming, guys. I don't know what you guys are talking
about. It's the best year ever.
I'm gonna be honest, if you're not letting Shredder's Revenge go, I don't know if 2-point campus is gonna make it on this hypothetical list.
How dare you, sir? 2-point is way better. I've not played it yet, so I meant to play it yesterday. Let's jump into what's been in our box. I meant to play 2-point, and bro, my internet just kept dying, so I couldn't play it. I was just like, no, this is all I wanted for so long. So yeah.
Oh, you didn't download it?
Nope. I only got my code yesterday. Or day before.
You could have.
Before Game Pass.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I know.
Have you installed it now?
That's all I'm doing after this podcast. I got to go out shopping, got to do some bits, and then I'm not streaming tonight, and I'm coming home and I'm playing 2-point.
Got it. Okay. Okay, I see you.
Yep. We've been planning anything this weekend?
So Evo happened.
Yes, it did.
Which we have some questions for Evo. I didn't add them. We'll do them next week with Matt.
Okay.
I forgot to add them. And a lot of them were like, what games would you guys want developers to make? And
gotcha.
That conversation goes better, I feel like, with 3 people.
Yeah,
but that's beside the point. Evo happened, and I've been itching to play some fighting games, so I went in and I played Guilty Gear,
Any good?
which is not on Xbox.
That's fine.
Which led me to think about, why aren't there a lot of fighting games that come to Xbox?
There must be a reason, right?
I think it's just a lot of the ones that don't come to Xbox are Japanese games, and so it comes into that transition of like games just not coming to Xbox. And I also don't think, as far as Xbox is concerned, they really get a lot of fighting games even otherwise, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's Sony just really pursues these really hard or what the case is.
So what, Xbox gets Mortal Kombat, Tekken.
They get the big noticeable ones
this year.
Yeah. Even Dragon Ball Fighters, which is an Arc System Works game that came to Xbox. So they get the big noticeable ones, but the ones that like last for a long time, like Guilty Gear, I assume will go on for another couple of years. The games in the fighting game community that have long lifespans seem to avoid Xbox sometimes. And I just kind of wish that wasn't the case. And I don't know if there's something Xbox can do for that, if they're actively trying to do. I assume they are. They're not just like, okay, we have this void in gaming, we're just going to let it exist. I assume internally there's probably conversations going around, but how much is it worth it for a niche genre?
I mean, I would say, is Persona considered niche as well?
A JRPG?
Yeah.
No. I don't think RPGs are niche.
No, but not for an Xbox audience, maybe.
Sure, but with that in particular, like outside of Xbox, it is a big genre. And so it's like Xbox is just missing that. Is it niche because it's not on Xbox and it's missing it, or is it niche because Xbox people don't care for it? I think that's what we'll find out when Persona 5 drops this time around, where fighting games all around are niche, with the exception of Multiverses. It had apparently 10 million and some odd active accounts on it.
Mad.
Which is crazy. Free to play games are the future.
Yeah. Free to play.
Who knows, if you have a good free to play game with characters that people like, that it'll do numbers.
How much money have they made though? That's what I'd like to know.
That's a good question.
How much have you put in?
How much have I put in? I bought the battle pass for like $3.50.
No, $3.50. What do you mean $3.50?
$3.50.
Is that all it is?
Yeah, this first one. The future battle pass are gonna be $10 because this is a shorter one. I think they were like, "Hey, we have battle passes. You might want to try out our battle pass system."
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's really good for our first season, though.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you've been playing?
More Multiverses. Nothing outside of the normal.
Fair enough. Well, let's get to this week's dashboard and get ourselves out of there. First one, a job listing suggests Gear 6 has entered development. This is from Windows Central. While Gears of War developer The Correlation looks to be working on a new IP, which we were talking about earlier, that doesn't mean that the studio isn't actively building the next Gears title. In fact, the new job listing suggests that the company is actively in development of the new game. The job listings for a lead mission designer at The Correlation, with the developer seeking an individual, quote, with a proven track record of delivering highly engaging, high-quality campaign experiences in games, end quote. The listing further states that the lead mission designer will be expected to, quote, work with the campaign director and the level design team to design the campaign experience, its pacing, its rewards, and the features that surround it, end quote. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Gears 6?
For right now, about an 8.
Yeah, I'm about the same.
Excitement's always there to level, but we haven't seen anything. The second we get all I need is like a teaser trailer, and it's like I'm in.
They could just show a logo, bro, and I'd be excited. I'm not gonna lie,
yeah.
I just miss Gears. I miss Gears being what Gears was back in the 360 days.
Will never happen again, unfortunately.
I know, but I miss that. I miss it so much.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
coming home from school and just, like, gotta play Gears. Have to play Gears of War. Like, that is my game. Like, yeah, it just never recaptured that off the 3.
No, I think it... 4, like, the problem is, like, 4 and 5 both have good multiplayer. The issue is the microtransactions in the start of those games were both times were rough.
Yep.
And then it's also, like, you're making multiple... I really hope Gears goes the path of Halo Infinite. Yeah, in the sense where it's free to play and it's one continuing growing game. Not to say that Halo Infinite hasn't had its issues, but it's easier once you fix the issues once. Yeah. Those issues are fixed. Whereas, like, you might fix the issues in Gears 4, but then Gears 5 is going to come out and you're going to have a whole new slew of issues because you're like, well, we can make it better than last time.
Yeah.
On top of that, like, Horde will be interesting to see what they do with Horde this time around. I doubt it'll be... Yeah, I miss, honestly, Gears 2 Horde, the basic ass Horde with, like, no special stuff, I think was always the funnest.
Yep, I agree.
When they started adding all these, like, you can level up, you can put these wires down, it was like, I see where they're going with it. It becomes more of a tower defense system. It's just not what I really care for.
I'm never compelled to play it, though.
Yeah. The only time
I'd like to see him do something, like, super at left field with, like, a mode for Gears. Like, something just... That's what I know I joked about the Battle Royale earlier, but, like, just something so different that we're not expecting.
Look, there's a possibility they put out a Battle Royale, and the fact that it's Gears of War and it works in a Battle Royale format, that it could be dope. But, like, what are the chances that they want to put all that resources into a Battle Royale without the guarantee that it would work?
No shot.
Right. Yeah. Because it's different. Like, people play Halo for the multiplayer. The people that play Gears of War for the multiplayer is a diminishing return. There's less and less people
for the multiplayer are the pros and people who want to go pro. That's what it feels like. It just feels like a Gears multiplayer is just try-hard central.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no
There's no casual audience for it. That's why it's never been good. Like, never been... It's good when you're good at it, like in 1, 2, and 3 for me. But when you're not good, it's terrible.
The skill floor in that game is it's not very forgiving at all.
No. Wall bouncing is a skill in itself, man.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Wall bouncing, knowing where to be aiming when you're, like, hiding around the wall to keep the left side so that your right side can just pop out and shoot. There's a lot of small stuff that the game doesn't teach you in any sort of way that you're just expected to know.
It's not
because everybody try hard.
It's not designed to be played the way. It's not. There's no way they designed Gears of War with wall bouncing as like a.
No.
We want people to do this. We want people to bounce off these walls at stupid speeds. No, it's like, this is our cover-based system. Oh, we found a way to manipulate it. Here we go.
Yeah, I will say that, like, I think Gears of War partly is lucky that people found wall bouncing. Yeah. I don't know if it would have remained. I don't know if Gears 2 and 3 would have been as relevant had wall bouncing not been figured out.
Yeah, I totally agree. I do like the idea of the multiplayer going free to play, though.
Yeah, I think in general most games, like, multiplayers should be free, and they should be, like, one long continuing experience instead of, like, oh, a new game came out, you have to start from the beginning and hope there's microtransactions that people will want to buy or even be willing to rebuy, because that's always one of the things that I've hated is, like, oh, Gears 3 had a good skin that never made it to Gears 5. And then it comes to Gears 5 and then it's like, oh, you have to buy it all over again. It's just this really weird thing. Whereas instead of growing out the game,
Fortnite's
you, like, sort of
there, though, isn't it? Like, whereas, like, I go onto Fortnite now and I still have the skins that I had from the start of the game. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's just still there. Like, when does it's I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying.
Yeah. So I think free to play is the move, and I think Microsoft knows that. But whether Microsoft's going to make Coalition do that is two different conversations, because we've seen Microsoft be more hands off with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
If they're hands off with that, it'll be interesting to see. And then campaign, there's no doubt in my mind the campaign's going to be a banger.
Campaign's going to be amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
Can't wait. Well, something I can wait for is Marvel's Midnight Suns delayed once again, possibly to 2023. Marvel's Midnight Suns has been delayed a second time, and while it doesn't seem to be a long delay, we're now once again without a clear release date for the how do I say this? Like it's for
Firaxis
tactical RPG. In today's Take-Two earnings results, the publisher revealed that it has moved back the launch date of Midnight Suns to ensure the team at Firaxis Games and 2K deliver the best possible experience for our fans. End quote. I hope that this means it's going to get a better graphics overall, because I don't think the graphics are very good so far. I said it.
Yeah, I guess.
It won't, but that's what I want. I just don't believe the story is going to be that good, so at least if it looks nice, I'll be able to get through it.
I don't necessarily disagree with you, but I also don't think I'm looking at that game for graphics.
Don't you dare say... No, okay, I thought you was going to say story.
No.
Okay, I was about to say graphics, fine. But I don't care if the story's bad. It's like, no, yeah, stop it. Like, we got.
I don't necessarily care if the story's... Because I'm not looking at that game for, like, this big story masterpiece.
No, nor am I, but I still want it to be coherent and fun.
Sure, but I guess I differentiate from cohesive and a good story. Coherent and a good story.
Okay, that's fair. I get you.
Yeah.
Next up, Ubisoft has officially stopped development on Ghost Recon Frontline. Not only is Ubisoft delaying Avatar, as we already know, but they have cancelled not only Ghost Recon Frontline, but also Splinter Cell VR. So there you have it, Crash. Big delays, big stoppages at Ubisoft currently. Their year's looking a bit different right now.
Yeah. Are you surprised this one happened?
No, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that Ubisoft's deciding to cut ties on some of the games that they feel like aren't going to work out.
These free-to-play ones that they were like, oh, we're now doing the free-to-play everything. And we're like, okay, Ubisoft.
You remember Hyperscape?
Yeah, Hyperscape just didn't get an audience. I never actually played it, ever. So.
Oh, you never played it? Interesting.
No, never played it.
It was an interesting game that I think lacked personality, but definitely had potential.
That doesn't surprise me that they just like cut ties. I'm interested to see what's next for Ubi. I've got to be honest with you. Like once we get Avatar out, we've got Rabbids. I'm waiting for those new announcements. I know they've got their showcase thing coming up relatively soon-ish as well. So like I think it's in September. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm just waiting.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It does seem like there's some sort of shift going on internally from what they've been doing to what they will do, and then there's also the rumors about Assassin's Creed being like games with service. I guess I don't know exactly the word they use, specific wording, and I can't remember the wording that they used about the game.
It was like ongoing, right? They wanted to make an ongoing Assassin's Creed where it was going to keep going. Yeah. I don't. Again, let's wait till September. We'll see the Ubisoft forward. I'm sure all will be unveiled and we'll know what the hell's going on, won't we?
Yeah. Great.
Last but not least, Life is Strange developer can't imagine going back to episodic release model. During an interview with Rock Paper Shotgun, senior narrative designer Philip Lawrence explained why the team wanted to try something new with Life is Strange sequel, which is why it's still separated into distinct chapters, but released as a single package. Quote, I can't imagine we'd go back to the episodic model, said Lawrence. The reaction has been positive. I think we were careful to keep that episodic structure because that does seem to appeal to players. That's all part of the DNA of Life is Strange. As you can imagine, it was a decision that was talked about and agonized over quite a bit, but I think on reflection, it was the right decision. 100%. Didn't finish this Life is Strange. Maybe one day I'll go back and play it again because I do like them games and the narratives are really good. But I feel like they've found the perfect balance for what they now do with these narrative games. Release the whole thing. Let me play it at my own pace. You can still break it up into chapters. The only person who has done it better, Crash, is Tell Me Why.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I think the Tell Me Why format is probably the best, where it's episodic but week to week, where you always have, it's like a TV show. I remember that's what we described it as while we were playing it. But I do prefer the all at once as opposed to here's an episode and then a couple of months later or whatever. Yeah, here's episode 2 and then you gotta wait.
You said a couple of months. Then if we end up talking about Telltale, which was just another level.
Yeah. Man. So it's like there needs to be some balance of when it comes out. Obviously all at once is better than those long pauses, but I do think the 1 week wait is probably the perfect time for those games, because those aren't games that I see myself wanting to play straight through in one go.
No.
But I do want to take a break, and you could always just be like, I'll play episode 1 today and a week later I'll play. But it's not the same. No, it's not the same.
Do you know what it is? It's that conversation. Something new has dropped, and we're all paced at the same time, and we're all talking about it at the same time, and there's a conversation being had, and yeah, no, I 100% understand and get what you're saying. Do you ever play Life is Strange?
No.
Not for you.
Mm-mm.
Not for you.
No.
Definitely not for you. To be fair, I didn't know if Tell Me Why would be for you, but you enjoyed that, so.
I didn't. You remember? I went into it being very, very hesitant of enjoying it, and I ended up liking it quite a lot.
Bit like Road 76.
Yep, 96.
97.
Nice. We're gonna put that wrong.
I wanted to see if you'd say 98. I'm not gonna lie. Let's plug and get ourselves out of here, bro. What you got to plug this week?
Go into the Discord, leave questions. YouTube, leave questions. Anywhere you can, just leave questions. We need questions. We're running out of questions. We have like another 2 from Original Cookie Man in the burner. I think we have another one from somebody else that I haven't pulled in as well. But we need some questions.
We need some questions indeed. Matt P will be back next week from the dead. So keep an eye out. I'm pretty sure he's live on Monday. Yeah. I'm gonna try and play some 2 Point Hospital. So I've got nothing to promote. Until next time, I'll love you. Leave you. See you later. Good boys.
Goodbye.